Once upon a time, in a bright, peaceful meadow, there lived a young baby cheetah named Chase. He was fast, so fast in fact, that the wind itself seemed to chase after him. He wore a bold red scarf around his neck, a symbol of pride he never took off. To Chase, running wasn't just fun, it was everything. Winning meant success, and success, it meant being first, always. One sunny morning, the whole forest gathered to watch a special race. Chase would compete against two playful young friends, Faye the sprightly fox and Bobo the bouncing bunny. From the trees and bushes, baby squirrels, ducklings, hedgehogs, and even raccoons peeked out in excitement. Up on a high branch, silent and observant, sat the wise old owl Oswald. Ready, set, go! With a blur of spots, Chase zoomed ahead. Faye and Bobo tried but couldn't keep up. The cheetah crossed the finish line, eyes blazing, heart racing. The crowd erupted in cheers. Leaves fluttered, flowers flew through the air. But high above, Oswald the owl stayed calm. He blinked slowly, watching. And Chase? He soaked in the cheers, ran and puffed up with pride. He had won. Again. Not long after, a second race was announced. Two new challengers stepped forward. Zara the gazelle and Dash the baby greyhound. They were quick, lean, and focused. The crowd buzzed with excitement. The race began, and once again, Chase powered ahead. Zara leapt with elegance, Dash darted like a streak. But Chase was determined. He crossed the finish line first. Chest puffed out, tail high, the crowd clapped, cheered, and squealed in delight. But from his perch, Oswald stayed still. No applause, no words. Chase noticed, but brushed it off. He had won. Again, and winning meant everything, right? Excited and confident, Chase bounded up to the owl. Another race, he pleaded. One more, please. Oswald, wise and quiet, fluttered down from his branch. With a nod, he brought forward two new participants. One was a wobbly baby turtle named Tilly, with round glasses slipping down her nose. The other was Monty, a blind baby mole holding a tiny walking stick. Chase stared. "What kind of race is this?" he asked, confused. "This isn't fair. They can't possibly keep up with me." Oswald gave no answer. He simply whispered, "Race." So, the race began. Chase started off without a second thought, zooming down the track. Behind him, the turtle barely took a step. The mole stood still, unsure of where to go. Chase crossed the finish line easily. He turned, expecting cheers and celebration, but the meadow was silent. No claps, no squeals. Not even a leaf fluttered. Chase blinked. "Why isn't anyone cheering?" he asked aloud. Oswald stepped forward. "Race again," he said gently. "But this time, all three of you, together." Chase stood at the starting line again. This time he looked left. Tilly adjusted her glasses nervously. He looked right. Monty tapped the ground gently with his stick. Chase's eyes softened. Without a word, he reached out his paw and held theirs in his. "Ready?" he whispered. They nodded, and together, step by step, they walked. Slowly, carefully, gently. The crowd was silent at first. Then one baby squirrel began to clap. Then a duckling. Then everyone. Cheers filled the forest louder than ever before. Oswald, from his branch, smiled, softly, wisely, and as they crossed the finish line together, Chase looked around in wonder. He had never heard cheers this loud. He had never felt this proud. Later that evening, with golden sunlight bathing the clearing, Oswald floated down beside the young cheetah. Chase, still holding his red scarf, looked up. "Oswald," he said quietly, "who were they cheering for?" "Was it me?" The owl smiled. "No, little one, not just for you." He rested a wing gently on Chase's shoulder. "For this race, you all won something greater than victory. You helped someone else finish, you brought others across the line, and that is a race worth cheering for." Chase listened. For the first time, he truly understood. As the sun dipped below the trees, the forest glowed in orange and pink. Chase sat quietly between Tilly and Monty. No medals, no trophies, just warm smiles, happy hearts, and something even better, understanding. He looked at his red scarf. It still meant something, but now it reminded him that racing with others was better than racing against them. Dear friend, you too are in a race, this race called life. But let me ask you, what are you running for? Who are you running against? Is success only about being faster, better, first? Is winning the only thing that matters? Because the truth is, if you always run alone, you might win. But one day, the cheering will stop. The best races are the ones where we help others across the line. where we run together, where we lift the ones who stumble. So don't forget, it's not about being the fastest. It's about how you run the race, with kindness, with love, with heart. So run this race called life and take someone's paw along the way. This was a story from the heart, a tale of courage, kindness, and what it truly means to win. In the race of life, the baby cheetah learned, it's not about being the fastest or winning every time. It's about growing and walking your own path. And just like that, life isn't about showing off either, because true wisdom isn't loud. It listens and chooses carefully. Now we begin a new tale of pride, purpose, and the two arrows. In a quiet medieval kingdom surrounded by whispering forests, archery was more than sport. It was pride, legacy, and power. Bran, son of a noble knight, trained in front of crowds each day. He flipped his arrows, boasted loudly, and laughed at those who couldn't keep up. Eldon, an orphan raised near the woods, trained in silence. His only mentor, a blind old archer who had once served the king, taught him the art of stillness. The arena buzzed. Bran arrived with flair. Eldon came alone, carrying a single wooden bow and no audience. Round after round, Bran dazzled with spins and cheers. Eldon, precise, still, silent. Arrow after arrow, center after center. Then came the final test, the one no one expected. You have one arrow. 2 targets stand. One holds reward, the other risk. Choose wisely. Without hesitation, Bran grinned and fired at the golden target. It shattered, revealing a hidden beehive behind. Bees swarmed. Bran ran, arms flailing. The crowd gasped, some chuckled. Eldon stood still. He closed his eyes, listened, watched. The birds, they perched only on the wooden target. None touched the golden one. He drew his bow, slowly, breathed, released. His arrow struck the wooden target. It opened slowly, revealing a scroll inside. Wisdom over ego, silence over show. The crowd that once cheered for noise now sat in silence. And the king whispered, "Let the forest raise more like this one." In life, we often stand before 2 paths, one polished, demanding praise, one quiet, waiting to be understood. Even the birds knew. The golden target hid danger. The wooden one, safe, humble, true. True greatness doesn't shout. It listens and lands quietly like the birds. Let me know what you think. If this happened to you, how would you respond? Share your thoughts or your story in the comments below. Stay happy and don't forget to click on the like button and subscribe as we face these challenging times together.